Okay, guys, so we need to take a quick inventory of all the bulbs we have left over. Some of these we bought like in September for a speaking engagement that we gave. So we have some leftover bulbs from that, and we have a whole bunch of bulbs from Eden Brothers. Maybe you know this already, but we've been making a bunch of videos for them for this fall. So we have kind of this assortment of all this.
Yep, we've been making how-to plant videos of hyacinths, daffodils,
tulips.
What else? Yeah, tulips.
What else did we do?
Hyacinths,
hostas, papaver roots or poppies, poppy roots. Yeah. I feel like there's another one we're forgetting.
Me too, but it's okay.
Autumn crocus.
Oh yeah, the autumn crocus.
There was something else.
But yeah, so anyway.
So this is so much fun. We cannot wait. So we thought
here. Oh my gosh.
This would be an awesome opportunity to show you guys how to do a lasagna planter because we have so many options.
What do we got?
So we have alliums, giant alliums, which we love.
Look how big those are.
These are huge.
Those are awesome.
I mean, they're just, if you've never grown alliums before, they are so much fun. They're so cool looking in your garden.
You can see they get 7 to 8 inches in diameter.
Big as each
one of those, yeah.
So along with those, that's the only allium pack we have. And let's do a quick inventory here. These are always fun to look at. We have 6 of these. So let's see what else. From the largest to the smallest, we have these beautiful windflowers.
Anemones, yay.
Landas.
Only a couple of those.
I know there's like 5 or 4. Look at how tiny these are, you guys. Have you ever seen these before?
Yep, they're corm.
Look at those.
Beautiful.
They're so tiny.
They're weird looking.
So this isn't gonna be great for our planter, but we have them left over, so we're probably just gonna like throw them on the edge of this planter. We can't really make a fun ring of them or anything because we don't have enough, but
it's okay.
What else? Gosh, okay, so lots of daffodils. These are Eden Brothers. These are called Tahiti.
So are they daff? Yeah, they are.
These are daffs. Okay. They're a double daff too, and they all have these beautiful cups. This is another daff from Eden Brothers. This is called Orangery, and this is considered what's called a butterfly daffodil, and they have just this really ruffly, pretty cup, and they're bright orange. So look how, we have a ton of those. Look at those, Sean.
Yeah, lots there.
Really healthy. So we have one more grouping of daffs here. These are just regular yellow Dutch masters. Beautiful yellow, yellow daffs with the yellow trumpet, right?
Yeah, classic daffodils. Dutch masters are classic daffs to have in your garden.
I love these, and we have a ton of them.
Oh my gosh, we have so many. What are we gonna do with all these bulbs? We're gonna plant some of them today, but we can't plant all of them.
We're gonna have to find some creative ideas here.
So what else we got?
So moving on to tulips, we've got we have pink impression tulips from Eden Brothers. We only have 2 of those, so that's good.
Yeah.
We have a whole bunch of this purple prince.
Ooh,
this was a beautiful. It's an early blooming tulip, and we use this for our speaking engagement. So that'll be a fun one to work with. Oh, yeah. So here's another tulip right here. Actually, we haven't even planted these yet. These are called Silk Road.
Ooh, wow.
And let me look here. I don't remember what these look like.
Are they a double or are they a ruffle?
Lastly, we have all these hyacinth. These are called janbos or janbos or...
Yep, jambos.
Look at those. Those are starting to sprout up
very
there.
Awesome.
Woohoo. These are such a cool bulb.
Yeah,
I just love this.
Okay.
We also have this whole package of blue trophy hyacinth, which we haven't planted yet.
Yes,
and there should be about probably 10 at least in here. Oh, it looks like we did open them.
Okay, so.
Wow, so, that fell out of somewhere. I don't know which one that is. So we have alliums, we have tulips, we have daffodils, we have hyacinth, and we have just like about 4 little windflowers to work with. So we're gonna plant them all in this container right here. And we're gonna get into some ideas for planting because there's different ways you can plant these depending on what you want.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now we have our rough inventory of all the bulbs we want to plant.
Wow.
There's way too many to fit into this one container.
So many.
Now let's take a step back from that and let's think about how this bulb lasagna planter is going to be planted. It's going to be planted in depths, right? It's going to be planted in layers, and there's these layers basically are the depths of the deepest planted bulbs to the mid-level planted bulbs to the shallow planted bulbs. And what we're going to do is when we go through and plant this, we're going to show you, we're going to start at the deepest level, and then we're just going to build up each layer, adding bulbs and soil until we get it all the way filled up. So knowing that, now what we should do is we need to group all of these bulbs into which level of the planter they're going to be able to be planted in. Because from there, then we'll be able to decide if we want to have flowers all at one time of the year? Maybe it'll be at mid-spring, all the flowers will come up, or do we want continual flowering from early to mid to late spring, and that will determine which of these bulbs we plant at which levels. All right, so grouping them up into the depths, we know for sure that the alliums are going to be the deepest because we've handled those before, and so I think, yeah, these guys, yeah, here's our alliums.
Yeah, there's the
Now, these usually get planted 8 to 9 inches deep. I think the recommendation is 8 inches deep on these. So there's some of our deepest ones. The next ones...
Pretty sure that's the only one, right?
Yeah, I mean, we need to look here real quick and make sure. But yeah, I think so. Because these look big, these hyacinths look big, the daffs look big, but they only go down to 5 or 6 inches. So we're going to put our 5 to 6 inch bulbs over here. Here's our hyacinths. Here's some more hyacinths. Here's our daffs. Now here's some tulips. There's some daffs right there. What we got here? More tulips. So we're going over here. And then we got some daffodils. There's Tahiti, beautiful.
I know, I can't wait to see them.
And then a couple of tulips, pink impressions. So, okay, so here's these. So that's cool. Okay, so we've got deepest, the alliums. We've got a whole bunch of mid-level bulbs.
Yes,
that, you know, the middle layer that we're gonna plant. So 8 inches, 5 to 6 inches. Here's our top portion. We don't have many. We have some
we
of these
only have
anemones.
4 of those, so it's not even like...
It's gonna be a little hard to get that level.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard to get that upper level of the lasagna bulb planter, but it's okay. What we can do is we can modify this and say, we're gonna have the base level, the base layer, the middle layer, and then we'll have just a few things possibly up on the top with the anemones, but it's mainly gonna be lower and middle layer bulbs. So, because that's really what we have.
I love it. Well, what's fun about that is now we know the alliums are purple. Again, I mean, you guys probably know that already, but there's different colors, but these are purple. So it's like, what?
Well,
there's so many options.
And before we do the actual colors, now let's decide, when do we want to see the flowers come
Oh,
up?
it's very true. I know, I get excited about color.
I think it'd be fun to do the consecutive flowering throughout the year. Have something come up in early spring, then mid-spring, and then late spring. So if we're looking at these deep planted ones, these alliums here, I think they are early. It says early summer.
Yeah,
so
those
we're
are
gonna go.
usually
We're gonna say
late.
late spring because
Yeah.
you're supposed to plant them now. So we're gonna say these are late spring. So these are gonna be coming up around May, June-ish. So that's those. And here, sorry.
Well, and we also need to account, you guys, for, we didn't mention this yet, but making sure that they all have similar needs, right? Similar sunlight, similar water.
Yes, and fortunately, a lot of these bulbs, they all fit the same bill. Full sun, lots of water, and they need well-draining soil. A lot of them, all of them, especially the ones we have, don't like wet soil, and so, and be in like wet conditions because they'll just rot. So all of these fit that bill.
Perfect. I know,
So,
that's easy.
Yeah. So, and also you got to think about when you're putting this together in the groupings, because when we get into this, we're going to show you what's the different heights, because you don't want these bulbs to just be planted willy-nilly, because some of them can grow taller than the other ones, and they'll shade them out, and they won't let them grow. They might not flower, they might not grow very well, they could stretch if they have too much shade. So you want to keep that in consideration too. So the alliums definitely are our tallest bulbs in this whole group. 32 to 36 inches tall.
Almost 3 feet, wow.
3 feet tall.
And they're very large. So yeah, there's so many different things to consider when putting these together. Do we want those in the center?
I know, yeah, here's our...
Do we want them in the back?
Yep,
like, are we
here's
gonna put this against like
container.
a structure?
So yeah, do we want them to come up from the center and just come up this way, and then all the other bulbs will come up around here? Or do we take these and put them all the way in the back, and then we have, you know, bands or groupings of some of these other bulbs here, and then the anemones could go just right up here in
I
the
kind
front.
of like that idea because, you know, whenever we make these bulb lasagna planters, we always put the alliums in the center.
Yep.
Every time. So I'm thinking, let's try something different.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So alliums, hyacinth over here, and then daffs and tulips all the way through here, and then anemones out here.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, let's try it.
All right, guys. So we just went over all of those bulbs, and so we've got a general idea what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how we like to plant our bulb lasagna planter, and I'm going to go through it step by step with you. It's good to have a Hori knife with the measurements on it, inch markings or depth markings, because we're going to use this to get our depths right. You can also use a trowel if that's more your jam, whatever you want to do. We'll have a link down below for this and all the bulbs that we just showed you, or most of them, where we can find the links for them. So, okay, with our Hori knife, what I like to do is I like to come in here and I like to go about 2 inches down, because I want to have, and what I'm going to do is you're measuring, right now we're measuring our finishing point for where our soil line is going to be once this is all the way filled up. And you know, we could go an inch maybe I'll go an inch. And so what I like to do with this is I like to measure this, because this is going to be our reference point to go down and get those markings for everything else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this, then I'm going to take this over, and then I'm just going to do this. I'm going to mark it like that. There's my beginning point now to measure down. So what I can do is I can go off this and roughly get my 6 inches. There's 6 inches there. And then I can go down from 6 inches. Our depth for our alliums is going to be 8 inches. So I'm going to go another 2. So this is where I want to plant the very tip. See those tips of our allium bulbs. And so that's where we're going to fill the soil from the bottom all the way up to that pot.
That makes it so much easier.
Yeah, it really helps to just get kind of real measury and scientific-y and nerdy with this.
Scientific-y?
Hey, I'm coming up with new words all the time.
Word.
Watch out. And another good thing to do is when you get this base layer, kind of pat this down and kind of sturdy up that soil, because what's going to happen over time is not only is the soil going to settle, especially with water and just gravity, it's just always being pulled down, the bulbs are going to settle too. So try and steady the soil, pat it down, get it kind of firm, and then you can get your bulbs in there, and that'll make it a lot easier. So okay, so I'm going to grab our guys here.
Dropped one.
I dropped one. Man down, man down. Okay, so you do want to plant all 6 of these?
Yeah, let's plant them all, right?
It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight,
well,
but that's okay.
Oh, you're right. Maybe we don't plant all 6.
Yeah, maybe 4.
Let's just do
maybe
maybe 3. Yeah,
okay,
let's do
we'll
3.
do 3.
We'll say 3.
Okay.
We're going to probably plant a second planter at a different time.
Totally. Well, yeah, we got this extra pot.
Because we have all these bulbs left.
Well, we got this extra pot too.
True.
All right, so for real quick, for alliums, you got to know which is the top and the bottom. Your bottom, there's all the old roots from last year, and it's kind of it just looks kind of rooty down there. You can actually see there's little roots, new roots growing there. It wants to be planted. And then the top, it's got this kind of flat surface. It's kind of round, but then it's not. There's a little tip right there. So here's your top, here's your bottom. That's how you want to set them into the ground. So we're going to set them right there. And
we're going to space them pretty tight.
Yeah. Yep. And from this point, we're going to know from here, and actually what I can do is I can mark right here, just real quick.
I think you secretly look just like marking on the container.
I like
marking. Hori knife.
Marking stuff is fun. There's where our marking is. We're going to know from these points our alliums are there. So that gives us a good visual. Okay.
Okay, cool.
So
now,
that's the first layer. Our next layer, we got to go from our reference point here, are the daffodils and tulips. We're going to do a mix. So we got to go from this point.
And hyacinth too.
Oh, and the hyacinth, excuse me. We're going to go 5 inches down from this point. So we're going to go right about here. So here we go. So that is where our next soil level will be, right about there. Okay.
Now, if you're using like a ceramic container or something, you might want to get a little pen to mark.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that. I'm really glad you said that, honey. Because what you do is, don't be afraid on the inside of those pots. Mark it with a Sharpie. Totally cool, because nobody's going to see it.
Yeah,
it's going to be covered. It's going to be covered with soil.
You can always wipe it off later with maybe some, like a little vinegar solution or something.
But you don't have to, because it's going to be.
Or you just leave it there.
Covered with soil. And again, firm that soil down at each layer, like we did. At this layer, you want to firm it down just like you firmed it down at the base layer, just so it's a good solid layer. We're using just regular old potting soil. It's a mix of equal parts of bark, peat moss, and perlite. So you can use the same thing too. It drains well, it holds moisture well, and it has a lot of nutrients. It can have a lot of nutrients in it and hold nutrients. depths. Okay, so now we've got purple.
Now what?
Which bulbs?
That's like, I kind of don't care. I mean, we have orange, we have yellow, we have purple, we have pink.
So we're just grabbed some Dutch Masters. We're just going to fit them in right here because we need to have some room for our anemones coming up.
Oh, I forgot about those, yeah.
And so we'll go 3 Dutch Masters right there, and that should be good.
Okay, I know we still have so many left,
so
but this is great.
Yep. So there's our 5-inch-ish depth. We're going to need to go up to the Hori. We're going to go on this side now. So I'm going to measure down 1 inch here. And then I'm going to measure down from there 3 inches. There's our new soil line. You guys can't see that, but it's right there. All right, guys, so these are anemones. They're corm. They're a little bit different as far as trying to figure out where the actual growing points are and where the roots are. So these look like miniature, what do you call it, raisins? So
or prunes or
yeah,
something.
right. I mean, so it's hard to say. I think these are the growing points, or that's the growing point right there, and then that's where the roots are. But I'm not 100%, and these are all pretty tough to see. They don't have any remnants of roots on them. So what I'm going to do, you guys, is the easiest thing to do is to take these and plant them on their side, and then we got a 50-50 chance of knowing which side is the actual roots, which one's the growing part, the tip.
Nice.
So what I'm gonna do is just place them down there like that. Here, let's go up there. We only got 4 of these, so try and evenly space them as best I can. There you go. That's it. Now we just fill this up to our mark. Now it looks like we might be a little shy of some soil, so we're gonna bring these up a little bit more, but this is the gist of it right here of what you need to do. Make sure to firm down that soil. All right, guys, we're pretty much done. We're gonna place a layer of mulch over this, at least about an inch here, because we're short on the soil. It's always good to put a little bit of layer of mulch on top of your bulbs to give them a little extra insulation over the winter months. Something else you want to consider too is make sure the soil is moist once you plant them. You can give them a quick water, but you don't want to overwater them, and you want to make sure that the soil they're in drains, because you don't want them to sit in really wet soil. They'll rot. All of these bulbs that we planted today would rot in really, really wet soil. So just make sure that they've got some moisture around them. They're going to develop those roots underneath the ground before you actually see them pop up, and they do that over the winter, even below the soil. So make sure to put them, all of these are in full sun. They need to be in full sun, so make sure to site it in full sun. And we hope that was helpful, and yeah.
Okay, you guys, that's a wrap for today. We hope that was helpful for you, and it's really fun to think about that you don't always have to just plant spring like blooming bulbs. You could plant bulbs in the spring that bloom in the summer, like this style too.
Yep, a lasagna planter will work just fine for those too.
I know, that'd be fun.
So yeah, guys, hey, leave any comments or questions down below for us. We love hearing from you guys. And make sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, so you get updates on our latest videos.
Yeah, and thank you for watching and for being here, and we'll see you in the next video.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.